What was it like on the real world?
Made him a website, had a launch party, and then we launched a blue watch for suicide awareness. And that was all on the real world. So I and my brand and Trevor got integrated into the season organically, literally building and launching our brand. And when that aired, we did over $1 million in sales. I had never ran an e-com store before. So I wouldn't know how to track inventory on Magento. Didn't have Shopify. It was like posted on a Google Sheet.
Welcome back to the show, guys. I'm your host, Sean Kelly. We are on the Digital Social Hour. Today, I got a great guest for you guys, Trav Lubinsky. How's it going?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. What you been up to?
Working, just staying busy. You know,
yeah.
Focused. Halfway through the year, so I want to finish strong.
Yeah, flex watches, right?
Yeah, that's the primary.
Nice.
Main focus.
So how did you get in the watch space? Because that's a space where it's competitive, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a competitive market. We started in 2011. And so it was definitely a unique time for direct to consumer.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people were doing watches online.
Right.
And it was something unique. And my background was in manufacturing because I was printing t-shirts. So at the time I was sourcing products overseas and I personally wanted to create something cool. And then my co-founder actually found a watch that was like interchangeable in rubber. And he came to me with that idea and was like, can we make something like this? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing led to another. And 2011, the trademark Flex was available. And the watches are flexible. So we came up with the idea. And then, you know, at the time, Livestrong bracelets.
I remember those.
Were very popular.
Those were popping.
And all these other charities started like having different color silicone bands.
Yeah. And
I started making them for other charities and doing promo products. But then I was like, dude, what if we did different charities with the watch bands?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it was born. So it was, each color represented a different charity that we partnered with.
Right.
So it's a slightly different angle.
Wait, so you literally trademarked the word flex?
Yeah, we have the trademark for the 4-letter word flex.
That's
and
crazy.
Jewelry and accessories.
Wow.
Coated metals. And
so no one could put flex on like a watch or a ring or anything?
A ring could be considered like non-competitive.
Okay.
Even though it is jewelry, but it's more in like precious metals and coated. So the way trademarks work is like you actually have to be able to protect it and prove that they're, you know, affecting your sales.
Okay.
So it's a big battle to actually protect a trademark, especially with a generic word.
Yeah.
But the fact that we got the word flex for watches,
that itself is a flex. That you got the trademark flex.
Before the word flex was synonymous with flexing, it was just like flexible, and we were like flexy, and we're like, oh,
so you didn't even mean it in the way it's used now.
No, not at all. I wasn't
That's
slanging
funny.
it. And then eventually we partnered with Tyga and did a collection with him, and it was all like, oh, Tyga flexing his new watch, and I was like, this is crazy.
How'd you get in touch with him?
Through a mutual contact.
Nice. That dude's in business.
Yeah, he does pretty well, man. He's really good at marketing himself
for sure.
Know? And it was like the post Rack City days when we were introduced. I
So
met him.
His first come up.
Yeah.
Because he had like a little revival a few years ago.
Definitely. Early on, like 2013, we partnered.
Yeah.
Or 2014 timeframe. So yeah, that was a cool little story. I met him in the studio and he was making music, getting back into music, and he had a song with Bieber.
Okay.
Called Wait for a Minute, when Bieber was a little reckless.
Yeah.
And so we just started talking about manufacturing clothing and stuff like that. And I started helping him with his clothing line. And then we partnered on the watch company and did a Last King's collection of watches. And it was right around that time frame. So we integrated it into the music video with him and Bieber.
Wow.
I got like 150 million views. That was like YouTube pre like IG, you know?
That's sick. So what would you say your strengths are? Is it the supply chain side of the business or the marketing?
So, I mean, originally it was the marketing. We were just trying to figure out how to make the watches, and we couldn't make enough of them, you know, and I couldn't land them. And there was always like logistical errors.
Right.
My brother actually helped me out a lot with that. And once we started streamlining the process of designing and manufacturing watches, we started figuring out how to source components better and how to like, you know, ship better on the water versus the air. Yeah. So once we got the logistics down, took years, but now we actually make watches for other people because we have that process down. We produce for like WWE and, you know, large companies that need custom watches. So
yeah, you've been able to work with the biggest brands like WWE, Star Wars. You got some advice from Daymond John on the licensing side, right?
Yeah. You know, right after I started working with Tyga, or like around the same time frame, Daymond and I were working on a watch together called the Mogul watch, and he wore it on Shark Tank.
Wow.
So like very early on, I was on set of Shark Tank.
That's crazy.
Putting watches on Daymond John that said Mogul, and like we didn't really fully understand how that would play out. But I got into licensing and he showed me how that worked. He introduced me to...
Shout out to today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes whipping up home-cooked meals super easy. They got 15-minute meals. That's less time than it takes to get delivery. Everything's pre-portioned, delivered straight to your door every week. For me, it's a no-brainer personally. We all know it also takes the hassle out of mealtime, and it can also save you money. HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout on average. I used to order takeout all the time. HelloFresh has been awesome for saving money in that way. You get a home-cooked meal on the table, more money back in your pocket, makes cooking easy. Personally, I used to suck at cooking, and HelloFresh, I can actually pull off some pretty decent meals because they got step-by-step pictured instructions, so it makes my life easy. It'll probably make yours easy as well. If you want America's #1 meal kit, go to HelloFresh.com/DSH free for free breakfast for life. That's code DSH free for free breakfast for life. 1 free breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. Guys, that's free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/DSH free. Link will be in the description. Don't forget to use code DSH free.
WWE and Hot Topic. So I started learning. And so eventually, when I was working with Marcus Lemonis, I had the opportunity to like approach Disney for Star Wars because they bought Lucasfilms. And like Universal with Minions. So those were slightly different than manufacturing like white label watches. Those were us marketing. So it's kind of like we took our ability to design and manufacture unique watches for say Star Wars, but then we marketed it in the launch of a Star Wars film or for like, you know, May the 4th be with you. We would have different collections. And so that was fun. And it was a really cool way for me to build the brand. People are like, whoa, I saw a Minions Flex watch. I'm like, yeah.
That's so cool because those are legendary brands that people are passionate about. So to be able to work with iconic IP like that is insane.
Yeah, I think licensing, like a lot of people don't understand it. There's like the licensor and the licensee, but like I would license it from these large companies. And what you do is you pay a royalty. There's a fixed amount that you have to pay up front. But once you hit that royalty, it's just a percentage of sales, and you typically can hit that. You just have to take a little calculated risk. You know.
I dealt with this with, ironically, colleges are all owned by this one company. Did you know that?
Licensing?
So like you got to pay them like percent of all your sales and stuff,
and then like activation up front to use the fee. So it's just like that, but they're the biggest brands in the world, so they can charge the most. But it's cool.
What was it like going on The Prophet? That's one of my favorite shows of all time. Marcus is, you know, he's an OG.
Marcus is an OG, man. That was a really cool experience for me. I was at a tough point in my life. I had credit card debt. My company wasn't doing so well. It was right around the time that the algorithms came on. Things started changing for us. You can't just post on Facebook and Instagram anymore and make thousands of dollars. So I had to start finding other ways to drive traffic. And that was a really cool opportunity just to learn. So we went on the show in 2016. Then Trevor and I, my co-founder, we sold the company to him, and I stayed on the show to help other entrepreneurs kind of go through what I was going through, not just in business, but like mentally. And it really helped me being around, you know, proximity of being around a billionaire helps you a lot. And through building that relationship with him and becoming friends with him, I just saw how he was, and dude would like text me like 3 a.m. and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But you know, it's like 6 a.m. for his time. And I used to wake up at like 9 a.m. And I was like, this guy's up early. And I just started learning, and I started seeing like, he's always sober. He's always in control of the room. When he walks in, he's got frame control. And so like just seeing that naturally and just getting like that emotional intelligence from him helped a lot. And it kind of got me on a different path to like helping entrepreneurs and like taking care of myself. You know what I mean?
And now you get up at 5 a.m., right? And you work out. You're crazy, bro.
I did the same thing. I mean, it's just, it all started with, I was really stressed, you know, around that time going on the show. And I was a little overweight. I was like put on like 50 pounds because I was just eating all the time and stressed out. So first I stopped drinking. I stopped going to the nightclubs and started chilling at home and started working on myself. And then I started waking up earlier and earlier and going to the gym. And it's like those two things hand in hand basically started helping me a lot, to the point where like it built confidence. It started helping me mentally. And then financially, it started like really changing things for me.
And you still do that to this day?
Yeah, I was up at 5 a.m. before I jumped on the plane today.
Bruh. So you literally worked out and then hopped on a flight?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Dude.
I feel so different when I don't now, because it's like, this is part of my routine.
You
know? It's all mental, bro. It's just like getting ready for the day to crush it for me. So like when I'm able to be up, see the sunrise, work out, hear the birds chirping, hear the animals, and then then the neighbors start coming out. Then you start hearing the cars, and it's just like it's a different experience. And for me, between like say 5 and 6:30, I work out, go whatever, running, swimming. But after that, I'm ready to go. And like most people aren't even at their desk ready to go for a couple hours. So that like deep work that I can put in and get super organized. By the time my first call hits or my daily stand-ups at like 9 a.m., I'm like ready to go. And I don't eat till like noon, so I get like a solid work day in before lunch.
Yeah, so you fast in the morning.
Yeah, it just feel better.
I do it too.
I just don't like eating and being like, once I eat, it takes me like 30 minutes to get back into work, and then I just don't feel as sharp.
The way I eat, yeah, for sure. I'd be going hard, man.
You love to eat.
Oh my God.
I love to watch you eat.
Dude, this Win Buffet right next door, like 8 plates last time. My record's 13, but I wouldn't recommend that to anyone.
That's insane.
Yeah. I don't know where it goes.
I don't either. Bro.
I measured my blood test with 10X Health, and they said they've never seen a metabolism that fast. Really? Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, it's crazy. I burned 3,500 calories a day. Just,
You did the full like blood panel thing and like the genes and all that.
Thing? So if I don't eat more than 3,500, I'll lose weight.
Wow.
And that's like a good amount of food. Plus I do like basketball and stuff. So
I was reading something this morning. Zuckerberg eats 4,000 calories a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
I think because he's like training and stuff, but he's also like working all day.
Yeah.
But he also like mentions that he eat pretty food too, just
really?
to get calories. I was like,
interesting.
Yeah.
You think he'd be on top of like the health stuff?
Like the most optimal thing ever. I mean, who knows? I just saw an article, but like it was saying that he ate like McDonald's and stuff.
It's hard to believe that stuff. Like
come on.
You hear this stuff about like Warren Buffett drinking Pepsi or whatever. It's like, that's gotta be cap, bro.
And he said like goes to the McDonald's drive-thru every morning. Come on, spends like $4.
Yeah, you're just pushing the stock, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, seriously.
So you maintained that friendship with Marcus. You even went to his wedding. Yeah. You went to yours. Like, I feel like he doesn't really do that with other people on the show.
Yeah, there's a small group of us that are more like family, right? And Marcus, he was getting married in LA, and he invited me and my brother. We went out and spend time with him and his close family. And to be honest with you, over the years, he became one of our close friends. You know what I mean? Because he helped us so much financially.
Yeah.
So, from there, you get along pretty well with someone who he's not looking for anything from us. You know what I mean?
When you have the ability to make other people money, it's a powerful skill.
Yeah. And my brother still works for him.
Wow.
When the pandemic started, we filmed an episode called The Inside Look with the Prophet and kind of announced that I'm buying the company back. So I left the company, or I didn't leave the company, but he took control of the company.
Right.
We did an asset transfer agreement. He set up a new LLC, and I ended up buying the LLC. So now I have the IP, which is why you see me working on Flex again.
Yeah. So what were some things he specifically taught you that you implemented in the business and it just helped a lot?
Processes. I mean, just seeing how he broke everything down into simple processes. And then from there, I took my own, like, let's put this in project management. Let's get this into tasks. And it helped me stay organized. And then I grew a team. I'd never really grown a team like that. I had like a small team with Flex, my partner. But we got an office, and he told me to start hiring people, and we started filming there. So through that process, I like learned basically how to build an agency, how to help failing businesses, and really pay more attention to like the P&L. Like I didn't always want to look at the P&Ls.
Yeah, it's a scary feeling sometimes.
And so like when you're there all the time, and it's like, oh, let's look at the P&L, let's look at the balance sheet, and then you have a controller in the office, and he's sending you statements, and you're like, oh, okay, and like without realizing it, you're learning so much, and you're getting structured. So when I went on my own in 2020 to start my own portfolio and start working with my boys, it was like, okay, I'm gonna bring this level of structure. I'm gonna like make Asana boards and ClickUps and all that stuff, and like built out project management. It was Asana then, and now it's ClickUp.
Nice. ClickUp's huge.
Huge, yeah. And I work with them as well. Like they're good guys. They make ClickUp watches.
Yeah.
For promo, and they're just really good guys, and they built a dope product.
Yeah. So I know you went through some traumatic stuff, right? Some mental health stuff. You lost your business partner at 34. What was that like?
Yeah. I mean, failing sucks, but it's part of life, and I feel like for me, it's part of my story. And so in the moment when I was going through a lot of these things, it was really hard for me. But now that I look back, like it was the personal growth, it was like, man, I saw myself on TV and I was like, I got to lose weight.
Right.
And so the first thing I was like, I got to just like
How heavy were you?
I was like almost 220.
I'm 180. So that means you were 40 more pounds than me.
Yeah. And right now, probably like 175.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a big swing, you know?
Yeah, it's huge.
I think, and onto the business partner side of it, like that was a tough scenario for me just all around, because we had already sold the business to Marcus, and his name's Trevor. He was helping build a nutrition company that was super successful called Nutrient. And he was the creative director there and like doing his thing. So we were just both busy, and we didn't get to hang out as much towards the end. And then we were going to hang out, we're trying to meet up. And then he had a heart condition. The next thing, I got a phone call from his phone, and I was like, oh, what up? And one of my friends is on the other end of his phone, and basically told me he had passed away the day before. And it's just bad timing for everything. I mean, there's never good timing to lose someone. Right. But that was just really emotional and hard, I think, just like not just on me, on just like everyone, all of our friends, like the whole Flex team, and really just had to figure out like what is the new direction, because he was like the creative guy.
Wow.
You know, and so having a new direction and even doing what we're doing now, it's like doing it without him, but also we had those vision boards. Like we were on the Profit together and on the Real World together. So we have all this cool content of us working together. Yeah. And like I watch that stuff sometimes. I'm like, this is crazy, because I feel like I'm back in that moment with him. And then I'm like, that was what was on our mood board 10 years ago. And I'm doing it now. So it's kind of cool to like live out the vision. And that's part of the reason I want to be in control of the company. Yeah. Because I want to be able to like tell that story, you know?
It's unreal, man. What was it like on the Real World?
That was in 2011.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of Flex Watches, like how we launched to the world. But it was fun. I mean, being in your 20s and being on reality TV, living in San Diego, and then telling the world about my brand. It was a crazy story. I mean, I'll quickly tell it. Yeah. So Trevor and I were trying to figure out a way to sell watches. We bought 1,000 and we only sold 200. So we had 800 left. And we're like, what do we do? Like, is this company even going to be a thing? Like, let's just get rid of these watches. Yeah. So we set up a fundraiser at the church in Irvine in Orange County. And we said, if you buy a watch, we'll feed a child. So we set up a booth and we sold 800 watches, and we ended up donating that first day, I think $8,000. Wow. So that ended up being over 15,000 meals for these kids in Rojo Gomez, Mexico. And I was like, wait, what? So we went on a missions trip. We went down there. We saw what we were going to be doing, which was helping build a community center, and then help these kids, because they were all skipping breakfast. You know, cooking was done over an open flame. They didn't have access to running water. So immediately we're like, well, we can create major impact, and this is really cool. So the day we were coming back was a Saturday. We were in the car talking like, dude, how can we tell this story to the world? This was super cool. Tom's is doing 1 for 1. Nike's doing this thing with Livestrong, but no one is doing this like watch company that has different causes and gives back. And look at this impact we just made. Like maybe we have something. Right. And we had 2 watches. I had a pink one and a blue one on my wrist. And we came back from Mexico. We had no inventory, nothing. I'm like, let's get food. I'm starving. And let's talk about what we're going to do. We go in this place called Miller's Field, sit down to get food. I look up. There's a boom mic, lights, kids are sitting, ends up being a shot of the Real World. It was their first day there. One of the kids was affected by suicide, starts talking to Trevor, telling him how his members of his family committed suicide. He wants to raise awareness. So we end up literally fast forward 40 days. We built the kid a charity, made him a website, had a launch party, and then we launched a blue watch for suicide awareness. And that was all on the Real World. So I and my brand and Trevor got integrated into the season organically. Wow. So it wasn't even scripted. No. It's not a non-scripted show. And the camera crew, and they don't talk to the team. So like everything that was happening was real. Kids were just saying, hey, what's going on? What's your watch company? And then they invited us to the house right away. And we walked to the Real World house in La Jolla, and then they took our IDs and made us sign releases and all that. And that was the first interaction with them. And then next morning we woke up, the kid Nate called my phone. He's like, hey, where you at? I want to come to the office. I was like, what? And then production called me right after to like, we'll come to your office, sign this clearance, get your landlord to sign this. So I was like, well, this could be cool. And then I picked up on the thing that like production needed places to shoot. So I started calling everyone in San Diego, nightclubs, bars, restaurants, everything, to get anything I could for these kids for free. And I would then tell them, hey, I can get you this club for free tonight, or I can get you this food. So then they just start hitting me as the plug. And then they would call me every day. And so we went to the house every day, and then they documented the process of us literally building and launching our brand. And when that aired, we did over $1 million in sales. I'd never ran an e-com store before. So it was like tail wagging the dog. Like I said, it started as marketing. We oversold by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Didn't even know how to track inventory on Magento. Didn't have Shopify. It was like hosted on a Google Sheet.
Oh, this was before Shopify.
Oh, it was 2011.
Wow.
So it was before Instagram, any of that shit. It was reality TV, you know? So it was just like TV, website, boom. You know, woke up in the morning. Our disk server was overseas and it crashed. And we lost so much money. So we hit up this company called like Shop Tab. And we launched a store on Facebook. We were the first people ever.
Wow.
And in the first day, we did 40 grand. Yeah, so we were selling on Shopify because we couldn't get our website back up for 2 days.
Oh, so you probably lost $250,000.
I mean, we were doing hundreds of thousands a day.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
It just crashed. But the thing is, in that time that it went down, we'd already oversold. So we didn't know.
Oh, so you didn't even have the inventory.
We get our server back up for 20 minutes. And we'd announce that it was live and we'd crash it again.
That's terrible.
It was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And now we've never run into those issues. And every time we're on the Profit or on TV, I'm like, make sure the servers are good. Call Shopify, make sure they're good. They're like, bro, we can handle like billion.
Yeah. That's the one thing Shopify, because I used to be on weird sites before Shopify and had the same issue, but Shopify never crashes.
Yeah, when we got onto Shopify, like in that same era when you started doing the jerseys and all that stuff, it was like, wow, this is like very user friendly.
It's amazing. It makes it easy.
Yeah, and people still have like it's even easier now.
No, before you needed like a developer and stuff, you know, make a site.
Now the developers all make templates and themes. Like if you want to start an online business, there are free tools that Shopify gives you. You can pick a theme and you can create your own store. And there are a variety of different ways to sell physical and digital products. So people ask me all the time, Trav, how should I get started? Start out by selling something online and figure out a way to attract the audience and then start pushing that as a value add to them. And Shopify has been awesome for me. You know, I partnered with them. I started teaching people. I have like a whole support group of like 800 brands that are all from Shopify because it's a struggle. And everyone in e-commerce wants to be able to talk to someone. And like Shopify doesn't provide direct support.
That's true.
So over the years, like, you know, Desiree. And, just through that relationship with her and doing the Shopify for Startups program, we started something called our own community, basically called Just Startup. And it's just e-com startups that we just provide free support to.
Absolutely. You know? That's sick. So what's next for you? Shark Tank?
No, bro. I mean, I'm trying to be a shark, you know, I'm making investments. I'm looking for things I'm putting all my time and effort right now into my personal brand and Flex watches.
Nice.
They're synonymous with each other, you know, and there's a couple of big plays for me. And I really want to see this through.
Nice.
But outside of that, I'm getting into real estate quite a bit more.
Commercial or
residential. Yeah, we got a few properties, guys in SD that you've met. We're Airbnb-ing those, and we started a property tech company called Experientials.
Okay.
So we're basically taking brands and integrating them into houses. So we have.
Whoa, that sounds cool. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so it started with Airbnbs, but then coming from my past of the real world and then having filmed in the office for the Profit, I have always had to integrate products into content. Yeah. And so I was like, what if we use these houses for content houses and had influencers stay here? Yeah. But then Zach was like, well, what if we just integrate brands into the experience, like when you go stay at expensive hotels, and then you can try all this different stuff. And that evolved into us creating Experientials, which is a platform for brands to integrate their products and activate inside Airbnbs. And we started with our homes. But bro, we have like all the furniture in the house, whether it's like Lazoni high-end furniture, like in the living room, or
you got love sacks in there.
I don't have love sacks, but we have like everything from beds to furniture provided by brands, and then CPG products. So like even our pool, like we have a deal with Plungy Pool, and so we have a Plungy Pool there.
This is brilliant. So you could furnish a whole home for free.
Yeah, the house it's sponsored actually.
Yeah. So they provide product, you just provide promotion.
Yeah, and we just allow real people to experience their products in real time.
Wow.
We have NFC chips that you scan. So if you're in the fridge, you scan the NFC chip, it pulls up a landing page with all the different products, and those are our affiliate links.
That's sick.
So our scale play is to be able to have, say, 1,000 hosts that aren't even our homes, because we only have 3 properties. Yeah. But like imagine 1,000 hosts, and then say like Samsung, and they want to put that TV in a couple hundred homes. Yeah. And they're willing to pay for an activation fee or a placement fee. Dude, I'm now the platform.
If you run any in Vegas, I got you. I'll stay there for you.
Yeah. No. I mean, we're actively looking in all the hot markets. I think with Formula One, there's just like a really good opportunity for some of those brands, you know?
For sure. There's going to be
just imagine that. You come stay at like a Porsche house. Yeah. That's the idea.
No, that'd be cool. Because Porsche has like a place in LA, right? Like a raceway track.
Yeah. And like a business park kind of thing. We went there.
Yeah, we went there, yeah.
Well, what did we do there? I can't remember.
Dan's Mastermind, right?
Oh, yeah, we played basketball.
I busted. Dude, I was in jeans. I didn't know we were hooping that
but
day.
you were the best player there.
I was I mean, I wish I had my shorts. I would have challenged Rodman one-on-one. You know?
I think you still gave them a challenge in the shooting contest. I was like, wait, Sean Balls?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to do the dribbling bills.
People don't expect it, but I got a little game in me.
Yeah, you do. I've seen the hops.
Yeah. So what's next for you, man?
I mean, I'm doing a lot, but besides the flex and the personal brand, I think like building things that are scalable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like things that are online, and I definitely like affiliate plays where we can provide value and to the end user and get paid for that. You know,
Yeah.
like whether that's referral commission, affiliate commission, whatever. We both have a really big network, and I feel like for the last, 15, 20 years I've been trying to do this, everything's been free.
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to like monetize my network, but I do want to be able to connect people in my network and be paid from it.
Right? I agree. I have that problem too, because I just connect people, and some of them end up doing big deals, and I'm just sitting there like, you know, $1,000 would have been cool, but
anything, a quick steak dinner,
yeah,
a buffet.
Yeah, we got to fix that problem because we be connecting people all the time. I do it daily, and some of them end up pretty big deals.
And that's what I'm looking at is like these big affiliate and referral platforms, you know, and you can essentially, whether it be the house, whether it be e-commerce brands. I'll give you an example. I have probably 20 different technology partners that I work with for Flex, whether it's Klaviyo or Shopify, Tapcart, whatever. Okay. All these other brands, whether I'm working with Desiree in the startup community or speaking somewhere, they want to know who I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
They want to use my ad buyers. They want to use my people.
Right.
That's fine. It takes away from my resources though.
Yeah.
And so like it comes at a cost when my web developer is very busy doing other people's websites.
Right.
So it's like I want to share, but like I need to do it in a way that makes sense. So with some of these companies like Shopify, we have our own offers now. So like you can sign up for Shopify for $1, and for the first 3 months it's $1.
Oh wow.
And that's through like my offers so that I can push people there, but then we get commission on that in perpetuity.
Smart.
And like Clearco is a funding for e-commerce brands.
Yeah.
I upload my invoices and get funding.
Oh,
People are
nice.
like, yo, I need funding. I got this order. It's like, cool. Now we have our own dedicated landing page for them to go get funding from Clear, but then we get commission. And I'm being transparent and honest about it, but it's like,
no, if you're helping them save money, you deserve to get paid
or get them money. Like
yeah.
I'm plugging you with investors or working capital or technology that makes you money or people who can help you promote and market. I mean, that's the next level of what I'm doing now. It's all technology based, but I think having a vendor network, that I can arbitrage, like I don't want to work forever.
Yeah. I mean, no, I love this model because that's actually how Dave Ramsey makes hundreds of millions with his podcast. He will refer people to really good people that can save them money with advising or whatever it is, taxes.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, you have like the perfect business model to do it. You have a huge social following. You have your own platform, your own podcast, super professional.
Yeah, I'm going to start copying you, Dave Ramsey. If you're watching this, I'm coming for you.
We're coming. That's what's next. You heard it first.
Yeah. No, I saw his numbers and they were like, he's doing 9 figures a year just off referrals. It's actually crazy.
Whew.
Yeah. All from the podcast, just referring them to wealth advisors, tax advisory, real estate. He takes half the commission or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good model.
Yeah, I'm excited to explore that more.
Yeah.
We have the tech. I mean, having been in the I don't even know what you would call it, but Web3 space for a while, it's like you can see how all the pieces connect now.
Yeah.
And it's almost like as long as you can make it transparent and it's above board, it doesn't have to be on the blockchain, but if it's trackable, you should be able to reward the person that started that.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, where can people find you? And is there anything you want to close off with?
Yeah, you can just find me on social media, on Instagram, TikTok is @Trav, TRAV.
Oh, fire handle.
Fire handle. Thank you, bro. But yeah, other than that, just send me a message. Say what up. Say you saw the podcast. And just keep watching the story. I'll be up at 5 a.m. working.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'll get up at 5 tomorrow for you.
Thank you, bro.
I'll shake on it. All right, I'll text you at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, perfect.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
I'll repost it.
All right, I got you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.